Hey folks, MasakoX here. Over halfway through this story, and Bardock's meeting with Goku has turned out to be a rather unusual situation, and it's not really been guaranteed to be a wholesome one should it occur. No. Instead, there is very little meat in which to consume for this particular scenario. Bardock is amazed his son could have beaten Frieza, but other than that, what else does he feel about his son? And as for Goku, he never was really fussed in his youth to find out more about his Saiyan heritage, content with the idea that he had been raised on Earth by Grandpa Gohan, he just so happened to be a Saiyan, and that was that. Because of all of this indifference towards that said nature, we have gone about this story choosing to do something a little more thought-provoking and character-driven, rather than doing something like we did for the Bardock convincing the Saiyans full story. Link up top, by the way. And instead we went for a tale of these two very much trying to figure the other one out. In any case, we've got a narrative to progress with. So let's progress. Just then, Bardock's entire mindset as to the power of people had been completely upended. He had been used to seeing and believing that Kakarot was the strongest there was in the mortal realm. But this purple cat, the legendary god of destruction, changed everything. This was deeply unsettling. Bardock knew how powerful his son had become. He knew what he could do. And yet, seeing him miss every single attack, in fact, not even getting close to striking, felt physically painful to him. It almost made Bardock physically sick. Bardock was trying his best to keep up with all of this, but he was struggling given his gulf in power from his son. "How can this feline be so strong?" King Kai, despite being scared for his life, answered calmly. "Destroyer gods are incredibly powerful, Bardock. That's their thing. They have to be powerful to do their job." "Well, why can't you do that? Why can't you as a god help my son?" King Kai turned to the Saiyan as if to say, "Really? Hey, I'm stronger than most mortals. That's enough for my wheelhouse." King Kai looked hurt for being undermined. Bardock then turned back to Beerus. "This guy seems like he's stronger than most guards." The North Kai had no witty retort for that. It was true. The two of them were just left there, staring, witnessing Beerus easily avoiding every attack from Goku. But the younger of the Saiyans wasn't giving up just yet, as he then powered up to Super Saiyan 2, which made absolutely no difference whatsoever. That was very concerning. It was bad enough seeing regular Super Saiyan, something that originally took down the Emperor of Universe 7, look completely irrelevant. How do you think we the fandom feel? But still, in his heart of hearts, Bardock could feel that Kakarot was not going all out yet. It was one of his most irritating traits, how he would not go all out from the get-go. Every single time he'd seen him fight or spar, he would see Kakarot slowly work his way up to a baddie or opponent instead of going all out at once and ending it before it even began. He should have taken this fight against a god seriously. This is no regular match. If Bardock had this power, Super Saiyan 2, he'd have used it all instantly and then worry about the ramifications later. At least he would have tried. After those Super Saiyan 2 attempts failed, Goku decided to finally go Super Saiyan 3, the best he had to hand. And after he realized that punching wasn't the answer, surprisingly, Goku then decided to fire a massive Kamehameha that literally tore chunks out of King Kai's planet, but did absolutely nothing to its intended target. To Bardock's utter terror, the cat god began to get visibly bored. He wasn't even tired or hurt or windswept. It was like Goku had done nothing to him, not even walked past him and coughed. As Beerus had had enough of this, he simply flicked Goku's forehead, sending his son flying backwards at light speed with just 2 fingers, and then caught him again as he circled the planetoid, only then to render him unconscious. Beerus turned away and walked back to his angel attendant. "Alright, Earth it is then. Expected more from this one. I could have sworn that the outline was that of his. Oh well, hopefully those Earthlings won't give me a reason to destroy their planet this soon after I've awoken. Till next time, North Kai." Bardock caught Kakarot's limp, unconscious body, trying to wake him up. Bardock wasn't scared anymore. He had to think of a plan fast. Even if he destroys Earth, Kakarot mentioned something about another set of Dragon Balls on Namek, right? We could just go there, right? King Kai shook his head. "Oh no. Destroyer gods don't just kill. They erase." "Erase? What does that mean? What's the difference between that and being killed?" "What you thought death was before you got here." Bardock quivered with terror. If Beerus erased Earth, no Dragon Balls out there would be able to bring it back. since it would have had nothing to go on. Total erasure was far worse than destruction. Well, don't stand there like that, Kai. We gotta wake Kakarot up! Bardock disliked Earth, true, but he wasn't willing to let the cat erase the planet and everyone on it, including his extended family. He might not have liked them all that much, but they were still, well, family. You protect family, even if you don't see eye to eye with most of them. And, most importantly, Guinea would have never forgiven him had he just stood there and done nothing. And also, Bardock had his fair share of experience when it came to doomed worlds. I mean, Planet Vegeta, anyone? As they managed to get Goku back to his senses, he wanted to immediately return to Earth and save it, without really recovering. The other two knew, though, that to do that would have been foolish. He hadn't even recovered from his initial concussion. Rest for a while, said the Kai calmly. Hopefully Vegeta will know how to behave, Bardock said. Now, it'd be useful for you to have one of those beans, Kakarot. Hey, can you teach me that instant transmission thing, by the way? Oh, you'd have to go to Planet Yardrat for that. It's kind of hard for me to explain. Yardrat? Is there anything worth noting there? Oh yeah, more than you would expect. They let Kakarot rest for a while, with King Kai monitoring the situation on Earth. But when it started to get really spicy, as in when Vegeta started to fight Beerus and the Destroyer decided that it was about time to blow up the Earth, none of them realizing that it was Boo who started Beerus off, Goku took Bardock and he used instant transmission to teleport them to the planet, all to stop Beerus from doing anything rash. They got there just in time, as Beerus was preparing to sow destruction onto all. Bardock could see how Kakarot was pleading with the deity not to erase his homeworld, just so he can, what, seek the legendary Super Saiyan God? How does he plan on seeking that legend? Because it's a legend! Surprisingly, Beerus accepts his plea. Then to Bardock's further surprise, Vegeta's wife already had a full set of Dragon Balls to hand. For a second he thought about Guinea, and possibly being a little selfish here, wishing for her. He could just swan in, get his own wish made, and then let this planet rot. Leave these cretins to die, and he would get what he truly wanted. But Guinea would hate him for that. And then what would be the point for existing if Guinea despised him? As the dragon creature appeared, he explained the full story of the Super Saiyan God to everyone. More or less how Bardock had known it, but it also mentioned a ritual performed by the 5 righteous Saiyans in which to bring forth said power in one chosen entity. As Shenron explained how to do the whole thing, Goku approached Bardock. So, Dad, are you feeling righteous today? Bardock blinked twice. What? We're gonna need your help with this. We've only got 4 of the Saiyans, and that leaves you to help complete the circle. Bardock glared into the sky, and then back to his son. Fine. As they formed the circle and grabbed each other's hands, Bardock was embarrassed. He was holding Goten and Gohan's hands, as he had refused to touch the princeling. But this was so dumb. This was so dumb. This was... He then paused this train of thought when he felt a sudden surge of power coursing through him. Then his hair turned golden, for a second, and then so did everyone else's. For a second, he felt this incredible sensation. For a moment, thanks to this connection, he had become a Super Saiyan. And the sky was different too, as it turned golden and radiant. The weather went from cloudy to rainy to sunny, a couple of times cycling through over and over again on a continuous loop. There was something different about Kakarot as well. He had turned into a glowing red silhouette. Well, I guess I finally get to meet the Super Saiyan God, Beerus uttered with some hint of excitement. And then Kakarot started to go back to normal, just with the red hair now. But Bardock could feel that something was different. As that transformation ended, Beerus challenged his son. But the beginning of this battle was quite troubling for everybody and the planet. Kakarot could still not land a single hit on him, like back on King Kai's world. It was as if he wasn't used to the weight of his own body now. Same with the Kamehameha that he tried to pull off. This whole thing looked to Bardock like just a repetition of him using Super Saiyan 3. Bardock was getting worried. Was all of that for nothing? But quickly, he realized that his son had started to adapt to it, slowly being on par with Beerus, as if the two of them participated in some sort of weird synchronic dance. Very quickly they disappeared from view, flying high into the sky, accompanied by flashes of bright light. It seemed as if the very fabric of the universe was being buffeted around from this confrontation. Bardock was pretty sure that even those amongst them not versed in fighting could very well experience what was going on, happening to reality. They didn't have to see it to feel it. At that moment, His irritation was not important. There was a lot of pride aimed at his son. His flesh and blood was able to go toe-to-toe with a god. And not just any god, the most powerful god of them all, as far as he knew. But with all of that said and done, Kakarot ultimately lost the battle, and then started to fall to the ground. Luckily, Bardock and Vegeta were there to catch him. As Beerus slowly descended to land, he was charging up another attack.
Thank you for playing with me, Saiyan. You are one of the most powerful opponents that I've ever had the pleasure to fight.
As everyone braced for the impending doom of Earth's erasure, Beerus then turned to a rock and attacked it, erasing it. Just one rock.
Oh dear, I guess I'm out of stamina. Well, I technically destroyed a bit of Earth, so good enough.
Was he letting them off the hook? And what was more surprising, Bardock was shocked to see the cat apologizing to Vegeta's woman, being invited to her next birthday party even, and then asking for more of Earth's food. After then, he was gone. The fiercest power in the universe, a god of destruction, just went away and was talking to them like they were chums. He then looked to his son for a while. He would never underestimate him again. Whatever power he had, it was something that could win over divine beings, and that was scary. When Goku gathered his breath and bearings, he spoke to his father.
So, Dad, you want to go back to King Kai's now? Or why don't you stay around for a while? Enjoy the rest of Bulma's birthday party. Plenty of food to eat. Your call, though.
Bardock had no wish to participate in their weird, happy-go-lucky celebration. But his stomach then rumbled loudly. He was really, really hungry. And all this food looked pretty good. Besides, he could respect his son's valiant efforts, so he eventually chose to hang around for a while. Just this once.
Alright, why not?
Just don't expect me to socialize. You people know I'm not good at it. And so the birthday party continued, with Bardock maybe not enjoying himself, but at least accepting it as a custom, and eating a bunch of pretty good-looking earthen food, looking towards the sea in the distance. As he was doing that, Goku approached Vegeta.
Well, how did it feel? That whole Super Saiyan God thing?
Weird, it felt unearned. And also, lighter, you know? Your body gets all light. Hard to adjust.
I'll find out for myself one day, Kakarot.
Then Goku spoke softly to the prince.
Hey, Vegeta, may I talk with you for a moment?
Oh?
The prince was surprised by this turn of events.
You know, I still can't fully process the Bardock, Dad situation.
You don't say.
I never really thought about my Saiyan parents before. Grandpa Gohan raised me on his own, and we were fine. Until I turned all grade ape or something. But I thought I could bring back my real dad and make him feel better. But he doesn't seem to be better. In fact, it's like all I've done has made it worse.
At that moment, Vegeta's features softened slightly.
You know, a while ago, I thought about bringing back my father, but no one here would have liked him. He wouldn't have liked it here either. I don't think, these days, I'd have liked him very much anyway. Honestly, to me, he's a relic of a bygone era.
Goku looked at Bardock, who was just staring off into the distance.
I thought we could connect, you know? Me and Gohan like different things, but we can have fun together, though.
Like you said, he might be your father, but someone else was your dad. You did all you could, Kakarot. The rest is up to him.
And to Bardock, even though the food was pretty good, it still didn't taste like the simple, kind of rustic, crude meat slabs that were served by Gine back home. They were too refined. Really, thanks to all of this, he'd become sentimental and he hated it. But for now, he was okay. But that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. If you liked this story, check out last year's full story where Chi-Chi actually got to do something. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!